Howdy folks, TJ here. A new Next update has dropped by Henrique over at the Kickstarter website. So I haven't read it yet. I haven't done anything with it yet because I've been just super busy. So I thought I'd bring it up on the screen, and as I experience it, I'll try to help you experience it too, if you haven't read it already, or you just like to have me kind of put my 2 or 3 cents in worth. Sometimes it's only a penny's worth of knowledge and of interest in this thing. So anyway, I just enjoy keeping up with the next updates, and hopefully you do also. So it updated on June 26th. Getting the issue 4 board through its paces is the official title of this one. And let's go ahead and read. And as I read, I'll kind of verbatim stop reading and say, okay, let's move on to the next subject. But we're going to read this first part straight out because maybe that's where it grips you by the huevos and tells you a lot of nitty gritty. We're back with news on how things are going since we got our hands on the final version of the Spectrum Next board featuring the Arctix 7 FPGA at last, now in the wild, being exhaustively, well, that's a hard word for me, tested by the team. Things are looking mighty cool with no showstoppers to report, with the board performing as expected thanks to the latest firmware from Allen, porting all the love from the original Spartan FPGA into the new Arctix chip. So, good news so far. Chip is in board. Chip is being tested. So far, no big deal. Let me kind of peruse here because I don't think I want to read everything. The board underwent a round of EMC testing in Nottingham. In particular, the daughter board cable now evolved to a 16-lane strip. Now it's starting to get into stuff that you guys' eyes are probably going to glaze over, as my eyes do. Gets a little too techy. So I think I'll stop there. So the testing of the new FPGA is in process. And then they show a nice picture of the board, and it says issue 4 aka 2H board in all its glory. Too bad her daughter decided to show up in green though. So it looks like the main board is blue, the little daughter board is green, and they don't like that because it's a color clash, right? Although technically we kind of like color clash issues, right? But yeah, it looks a little off. You want it all to be the same color. So cool. Then it shows Jim, and Jim must be Jim Bagley, has put the new board and FPGA through some demo, timing, and full success, while the rest of the key collaborators of the project are already using it on a day-to-day basis. So on a little note there, so Jim was cool. In the early stages of him getting this board, he was testing some people's programs, games, and he tested my Invasion of the Cloud people and made a video saying, hey, it works. So I didn't have to test it because I have nowhere to test it. Unless you want to send me a board, I'll be happy to test it. And but I don't think they'll do that. It costs a lot to send to the United States, and I'm just an itty bitty little dot on the whole Next blip, and I'm not super techie. Even though my past life I was more techie, but I've kind of dumbed myself down since 2012. I went from IT stuff to not IT stuff, so I'm dumbed down a little bit, which is fine. I don't mind being dumbed down a little bit. So Jim's testing. I'm not going to read all this stuff, but Mike Caldwell's name is popping up. Has a great video showing both the Next being assembled with issue 4, making it one of the very first ever Spectrum Next computer with the Arctix heart. So in my last video, I actually pointed people to Mike's YouTube channel. Make sure to sub to it because he's got some cool bitchin' stuff and issue 3 and 4 boards in the casing. So you want to check that out. So this update is talking about that. Shows some pretty pictures. It has been a long, long road to this version of the Spectrum Next. The most feature-rich and stable yet. And such spirit. Let's head on to a bit of history. So he starts talking about history. And it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 long journey boards, Next boards, in a picture. I'll try to include these in on my video edit if I can not figure out. I know how to do it. It's just time consuming to do some editing. I'll see if I can figure that out. Then it shows they're putting together his very own 4 testing unit. Another picture showing the Next keyboard and Next case. And a thumbs up, ready for proper testing. So, cool. So that whole first chapter is talking about the new Arctics, things going well, so hunky-dory coolness. Okay, let's move on to the next. The case history, and this is Mike, again, showing the videos and a link, which you've got from my last video, to check out the casing, a little history of the Next case, so check that out. Cool. Then, full color manual. Okay, this is all brand new. I have never touched on this yet, so as of one of the stretch goals we unlocked, the new manual is in full color. O-U-R, not like us, you United Americans, just C-O-L-O-R, because we're lazy asses and don't want to add the U, but I don't think it needs a U. Color, it's like the whole Z and Z thing. At least I say Z, so you should be happy about that. So, color, Amphibus Docus is putting the entire rainbow to good use. The manual team of collaborators is working on a new format, size, and colored pages bound by the metal spiral we all love. As promised, you'll soon be able to brag about having the coolest, most awesome, full-color 8-bits manual ever produced, and that's no easy feat. So, manual, color, it's happening. Dot Jam, and I wasn't part of this because I don't have the time, but there was a Dot Jam programming thing that was going on a number of weeks ago. I kind of quickly perused some videos of other people doing it, but let's chat about it. It says, the first Spectrum Next Game Jam took place earlier this month, organized by CTHUTU. Chitutu? I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, but Chitutu. It sounds, I just spit all over the place. So if you want to spit, that's a good one to use. Chitutu. See, I had more spit. Oh, go that in slow motion. You see lots of slime flying out. It's like a bear, a grizzly bear. In the movies, stuff flying out of its mouth. The Dot Jam aimed at creating dot commands for the Next. 6 productions made it to the end. Not bad for the first ever, hopefully many. So check out the Dot Jam rules. There's some links. And then there's some stuff about a quick terminal for the RPI accelerator, a scroller demo, a breakout mini game, the cat command for micro drive straight from the Next, a set of visual effects such as fade out, and a Dot Cotton, a tribute to the late June Brown, aka Dot Cotton. Interesting. Cool. So then it has some pictures of some of these Dot Jam things, so check that out. Very cool. Magnetic Scrolls compilation. Wyatt Wong is collecting interest from backers to figure out how many people want a physical copy of the fantastic Magnetic Scroll compilations to keep forever. I don't know about you, but I'm certainly getting one, he says. The games are available for free as discussed in previous updates, but having a very physical copy on your XXX is another thing altogether, so you can register if you have interest in doing that. Cool. Very neat. Bomb Jack Next is here. Oh, sweet. I like Bomb Jack. And it looks like an arcade classic and what is arguably one of the best arcade conversions ever to grace the original Speccy. Bomb Jack is now on Spectrum Next, courtesy of Menu for Hire. I'm guessing a Menu for Hire? It's got to be a Menu for High and Antonio GWS. So it has a video link that shows you, and it has a download link to download the game. Now I know what I need to play next on my Next. Very cool. So check that out. Next Sync 0.7 is released. Jari Kumpa has released an updated version of this excellent Next Sync, ultra hyper useful tool that copies files between the Speccy Next and a PC via Wi-Fi. So if you're in need of that, check that out. So it's up to version 0.7. And there's a whole list of all things that it is including. Next up, ZX Harrier is hardcore. Lampros, this is a hard name for me always. Lampros Patamianos created the quirkiness of Durrell's Attack Harrier. I've got attack hair on my face. On the Spectrum Next and featuring a special trash metal track by Desolated Plains. What's not to like? So there's a video link to this. ZX Harrier. Check it out. Grab your copy on itch.io account also. Z-Spect. No, C-Spec, not Z-Spect. C-Spec, Spectrum Next emulator. Being part of the Next community for so long, it's easy to forget some of the newer members, especially Kickstarter 2 backers. Might not know about things we take for granted. That's one of those words, granted, granted, granite, granted. one of these gems. So I don't use C-Spect. I think I tried it once and I couldn't get it to work, and I'm more of a heavy metal, bang on the real metal type of dude because I have a Next here and I just like that. But for those that want C-Spect or to program on C-Spect on a nice computer, nicer, well, what's a bit nicer than the Next? Nothing. So I like jamming and coding on my Next, but if you need to on your work PC or whatever, check out C-Spect. So there's a link to C-Spect and chatting about it. Then there's Code Along with Baggers Resume. So we all know Baggers is a wizard of programming, and he made lots of videos, and he's continuing now on Code Along with Baggers, which is a video series he does live on the internets, which sometimes live can be a little problem because things always don't go as planned. You know, things might come in and attack you, like dragons biting off Jim's head, a cat scratching him, him not feeling well, and have to stop recording, or him feeling really good because he's been drinking so much and the coding doesn't go quite as well. So live always has a blend of interesting things. So check it out if you're into programming and want to learn the programming. His Coding with Baggers will resume. Very cool. Wrapping up. Ooh, we're at the end. I'm jamming along well here. Now it's waiting game, where we keep ourselves busy while our friends at Xilinx prepare the Arctic 7 FPGAs in the midst of a global chip shortages. We haven't given up on trying to accelerate the timeline by pulling out favors, asking nicely, fingers crossed. We get a chance to cut a bit of timeline in the meantime. So nothing affirmative there, but they continue trying. So odds are it's next summer still. Mandatory shout out to Rubber Keyed Wonder 321. We all know about the ZXSpectrum documentary, The Rubber Keyed Wonder. I did pledge for that. I can't wait to get that. So there's a whole link and discussion about this updating documentary coming. There's some videos on this Kickstarter that you can click on and enjoy. Some pictures, some neat things. I'm not going to talk about them because this video would take forever, but they're chatting about them because it is a great video that a lot of us can't wait to get. Get immediate access to over 1 hour of exclusive ZXSpectrum video content. So if you're a backer, it looks like you should be able to access that stuff. So check out your Kickstarter, read it for yourselves. This is just a quick compilation and discussion as I'm reading it. But there's some clips that you can view and some pictures that look fascinating and fun. Cool. Let's read the last part of it. You really do not want to miss out. This one, as with all previous films, they are only doing one replication run for this film, making it highly collectible. So it's basically phasing out this whole thing, talking about pre-ordering the Wonder 40 years of the Sinclair ZXSpectrum. So cool. That's where it ended. So no affirmative new dates or anything like that. It looks like they're trying to twist ankles and bend body parts to say, hey, can you do anything for us? But needless to say, the odds are we're still talking next summer, like the last update chatted about, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, kind of a cool update. Nothing groundbreaking, I guess, other than testing has happened. They have some videos showing the 4-board in cases being tested. Things so far are looking rosy, cherry with a cherry on top, good. So that's good. So that's great news. No bad news in this one, so I'll take that as great news. So that's it. So that's the update number. Was that 19? I think that was number 19 update. Thank you, Henrique, for that cool update. So it took about 2 months before the last one. So until then, next one will come out. Gee, summer will be towards the end already. Let's say we're already in June, so July. Oh yeah, we'll be at the ending of summer by the time probably the next update comes. If not, just continue using your Next. If you don't own a Next, use what you got, or it's going to be gone. So use what you got always is kind of a rule. You got a Speccy, use it. If you got C-Spect, use it. Just play it, use it, chat with it on interwebs, on Facebook groups, all that stuff. So that's it. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you found a little clarification. I think I did. I just rambled through it, but yeah, no bad news. That's what I took out of this whole thing. And testing of the 4 boards going well, so I think that's the major thing to take out of this. So thanks for watching the video. You have a wonderful rest of your week. Today, Monday, it just started. Damn it, I already wish it was weekend. See ya. Bye.